Hit record. Cool. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to give a big special thanks to Jessica and Cody. And unfortunately, Annie couldn't be here, but I'm so thankful she's going to share her story as well. Um, I just feel like there's so many testimonies out there regarding Plexus and pregnancy and postpartum. And I completely understand and sympathize with moms who are pregnant that are a little bit hesitant to take the products. I respect that 100%, but I still love sharing what they have done and what they can do. And especially, I think that goes postpartum wise too. So I'm going to go ahead and I don't want to take up any more time. I think we'll just have Cody. I'll start with you, Cody, and then we'll move on to Jess, and then I will share Annie's story last. I want to let you guys know at the end, we are going to do a fun little giveaway. I'm going to give away a $20 Amazon gift card to one of the participants, our attendees. So, and if you guys have any questions for the girls chatting, I know that they are more than happy to answer anything. So yeah, go ahead, Cody. I'll let you start.
Okay. So just tell my story, like how I started with Plexus and everything. And like before with my pregnancy.
Yes, I think that's perfect. Yeah, just maybe like how you started, how it went, where you're at, all this stuff.
Okay, perfect. So I got pregnant with my first daughter when I was at 2017, and then I had her in 2018. And I obviously was overjoyed to be pregnant, but I definitely wasn't eating the healthiest. And I just had a lot of issues. I gained a ton of weight and I had a lot of issues. Like I had a lot of like reoccurring bladder infections and yeast infections and all these things. And I had like multiple rounds of antibiotics and just had all these uncomfortable, weird issues. And once I had her, I had a terrible time like trying to lose weight, and it was just kind of funky. And so I started diving into my health, and Katie obviously had been on it for a long time. And so she'd always told me about it. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe I will give it a shot. And I'm a total cheapo. So I was like, gosh, it's so expensive. I don't want to spend the money, but maybe I should just jump in and give it a try. So I started to learn a lot about gut health and all that good stuff. And I had tried the pink drink before, like a few times probably. But I was just caught up on like spending the money on it and really diving into it. So I finally did. And I was pretty amazed at how much it changed like my energy wise, and I wasn't having as much cravings and all of that good stuff. And so fast forward to when I got pregnant with my second daughter, I actually had more nausea with her, but I think that was a totally different story. But it helped a lot with the nausea, the pink drink, and taking the probiotics and stuff. And I didn't have any issues with bladder infections or anything like that. And I had that kind of stuff like before my pregnancy. Before my first pregnancy, I had always had issues with like getting reoccurring bladder infections and all that kind of stuff. So I must have had some buildup or whatever, or like yeast issues. But so I had no issues with that at all. I had like only gained like 20 pounds, and it was awesome. And my labor and delivery was like perfect to me. Like, I mean, it was rough, but it was so great compared to the first one. I had to get induced with my first daughter, and it was just kind of a whirlwind. But the second one, it was just like went so much better to me, and it was just so much more comfortable, and I just felt a lot better. And postpartum, it helped. I feel like it helped me a lot with energy, and like I had no issues with breastfeeding or anything. And it was just kind of a totally different experience, and my body just felt different, and I just felt better. And I could just tell the difference being on Plexus, like before I was pregnant, during my pregnancy, just totally night and day difference. And it was awesome. And so now during this pregnancy, I'm like same situation. I feel so much better. And I just feel like I mean, I do have two small children, so I'm tired often, but but it helps with my energy and definitely my gut health. Like if I don't take my probiotics or the ProBio 5 or whatever, I can tell like my stomach is kind of acts funky. And if I don't have the pink drink, I usually am a little more tired, and I can just tell that I'm like missing something. And I'm like, oh, I forgot to drink my pink drink, or I forgot to take my ProBio or whatever. And so it just has made a big impact on my gut health. And I think that I probably had an issue with that before, which I feel like a lot of people do anyways, because if you don't know better, then you kind of just think that you have these things that happen, but once you know better, you do better. And once I learned about gut health, then I really got into it and saw how important it is and how much it can change just how you feel. It's awesome. So yeah, so that's my story. I love it.
Awesome. Well, I loved every bit of that. And I think like you made a really good point where I think so many of us just think that this is what being an adult feels like. And like, this is, well, I'm pregnant, I'm struggling with this, but that's just what comes with pregnancy. And I remember when you were pregnant the second time with Carson and you're like, I've only gained like 20 pounds. I don't know if this is going to change or not, but I'm really excited.
I know, exactly. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like not gaining as much weight again. And I think I just was well, first off, I was eating not super healthy the first time, but now I am a little more conscious of my situation. But yeah, I think that the Plexus stuff all really helps for sure. So.
Well, I loved hearing that. Loved your story. Thank you for sharing. Jess, your turn. You are up.
Okay. Can everybody hear me? Okay. I had to come hide in the car because my boys aren't asleep yet and the baby took a light nap. And so she thinks it's party time. And so I just ditched my husband in the house with all the kids. And I said, I have to go to the car. So here I am hiding. So Plexus came into my life after my second son was born. He was about 4 months old and we had gone to Hawaii for a wedding. I had two boys under the age of 2. They're about 19 months apart. I was exhausted. We had flown with a not 2-year-old and a 4-month-old. And we're at this wedding and there's this crazy lady that I met one time, Kate Brooks, running around with all this energy, like, let me take your babies, go have a good time. And I was like, God, this lady thinks she's on drugs or something. I don't know what's happening, but I was exhausted. And so I didn't think much about it. We got back from the wedding and she messaged me and was like, hey, have you ever heard of Plexus? And I was like, no, I was taking some other supplements. I was doing another program. I wasn't really interested in it at all. And she's like, let me just send you some pink drink. And so I let her, and it didn't take very long before I was like, I need this in my life. My second son was real gassy. I wouldn't say he was colicky, but he had a bad belly. He didn't sleep well. I was exhausted, again, saying I was drinking so much caffeine that it was actually making me nauseous. Like I was drinking this other pre-workout drink that was probably contributing to why my baby wasn't sleeping, because he was getting so much caffeine. And so I ditched all that. I switched. Again, I was a little hesitant about the price at first. So I just started with the triplex. And it didn't take long for me to figure out that it was exactly what I needed. It was a total game changer. My baby started sleeping. He was not so gassy. I had really bad postpartum hair loss, with both of my boys, and my hair started growing back. I just immediately had so many things that were a positive that I could, just knew was from Plexus. I didn't necessarily lose weight right away. I didn't actually lose all my baby weight with him until I was done breastfeeding. But I just felt amazing. And so I was okay with that. Fast forward 4 years, I got pregnant with my daughter. And so I had Plexus during that pregnancy. And I was excited to take Plexus during pregnancy because I knew how much it had helped me postpartum. And so I was really excited to have it for this pregnancy. It was a must, being pregnant with my third and having 2 boys that are full on. one thing that was huge that I didn't really notice that I had with my other pregnancies was the inflammation. I didn't gain a ton of weight with either one of the boys. I was about 30 pounds with both of them. But just looking back at pictures of my pregnancy with them versus my pregnancy with Emery, the inflammation in my face is like non-existent. My face was so puffy when I was pregnant with them. The ease was a game changer for the third trimester. I totally loved it. I felt safe drinking the active during my pregnancy. And so I would have an active sometimes, which was a big help with energy in the first and third trimester. And then having that postpartum right after delivery was amazing. If you've had a baby, you know about all of the things that are terrible after delivery. And let me tell you, BioCleanse is your best friend. So I've had, one thing with my first son, and which I've experienced this time also, is that with my first baby, I had troubles breastfeeding. My milk didn't come in right away. He didn't gain really well. He didn't latch very well. I just didn't have a lot of milk for him. And with my second son, it was totally different. And oops, my phone's trying to die. It was totally different. I had lots of milk for him. He was able to nurse for a full year. And same with my daughter this third time around. I feel like just having the proper vitamins and nutrients have really helped my body be able to produce milk and just give them exactly what they needed. So I've been super thankful to have Plexus during postpartum and pregnancy. And I couldn't live without it, honestly.
All right, let me unmute myself. Thank you so much for sharing. I loved your testimony. And I definitely had to nod my head and like do a little yes to the BioCleanse clip in, because maybe, I mean, when I went in, I just remember they give you all these medicines in a cup and you can either be like, no, I don't want that, or yes, or I think I need more. But the one thing I never needed to take, and I remember my mom was like, you should take that. I was like, no, I don't think I do, was stool softeners. And BioCleanse and ProBio, especially if you get on them beforehand, you just turn into this person who's very regular. And even with like all this stuff with childbirth, and you're so scared to go after everything that happened, you're like, this is going to be awful. But I never needed a stool softener or anything. And the BioCleanse was amazing. And to know that it's all natural was just the icing. It was, you're not adding anything bad to your body. So I'm going to go ahead and read Annie's testimony. So I'm going to, I haven't read this yet. She just sent it to me, but so Annie started when she had her first son, and then her second son she had in October. She had him right in the beginning of October, and she started on the products. I think she had to have been like 2 or 3 weeks postpartum. And so she started pretty soon after she had him. So since then she's loved the products. I'm going to go ahead and read what she wrote. So I started Plexus in hopes to help my anxiety and postpartum depression. There is said to be a strong connection between gut health and mental health, and I was willing to try anything. I was unaware of all the other benefits it would give me as a happy side effects. I had my older brother die right when I found out I was pregnant. That, along with a preterm first pregnancy and NICU stay, my anxiety was at an all-time high delivering my second. Delivery went well, but 3 weeks later, I really wasn't feeling well and hadn't experienced this with my first. I had watched Katie share for some time now, and being someone who has suffered from anxiety for some time, I knew I needed to get healthy on all the realms in hopes of feeling better. Not only did I experience less anxiety as I was on the products, I also experienced less inflammation, and I wish I was willing to share photos, but I'm not there yet. But my skin improved immensely from my postpartum hormone acne mess. The inflammation played a role in anxiety. The inflammation played a role in anxiety, and I knew it was helping. I had mentioned to my counselor I started seeing after my brother died that I was getting dizzy when I stood up, and I just summed it up to an anxiety symptom. She asked me if my blood sugars could be low. I started eating better. Oh, with Katie's help. We've talked a lot about eating and all that good stuff, and the pink drink, and it totally stopped my dizzy spells. I am not making this up. I can't say that my anxiety is totally gone, but I don't believe it's a one thing cures it all. But my wellness and overall being is in a better place 100 times over thanks to Plexus helping me along the way. I am so thankful. My husband is now on triplex, and my 2-year-old takes the kids' vitamins and drinks, and his eczema has improved dramatically. I am so blown away. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm tearing. So, Annie's story is really cool because she has suffered a lot with postpartum depression, and she's just very passionate about it. And so when she reached out to me, like she said, that was something she was really struggling with. And so yeah, her testimony is really cool. She's still working through it. And I know she really related with your story when she did get started. She had talked to me for about a week before she started, and she was like, okay. So that's Annie's story. I can't wait to show her this recording. But yeah, does anybody have any questions or any comments or anything that they want to add? I know we have a couple mamas on here that maybe have anything to add. I would love to hear it. Oh, I don't think we have anyone then. I'm going to go ahead. If you guys want to give me a quick second. I was so enthralled with listening to you guys. I didn't put the names in my giveaway thing, so it won't take me too long. And we'll announce our winner of our drawing. I just have to enter it real fast. Let me make sure I just got everybody. I think I did.
Katie,
Oh,
said something in the chat about what you can and cannot take during pregnancy or breastfeeding.
Oh, thank you for catching that. I'm really bad about seeing the chat. So Ange, you might have to just help me with this one, and Jess, you probably can too. So I know Metaburn is a no while breastfeeding. However, I have read this, and this is something you'd want to check, but I have talked to some women who have taken Metaburn while breastfeeding to help with anxiety, and it has helped tremendously. Yeah. And so it's suggested not to take, but if you talk to your doctor, these gals that are on it obviously had it passed by their OB, but I would say no to Metaburn while pregnant and breastfeeding. Probably I've heard Balance is a no, but I'm not for sure. Do you guys know?
I've heard it's a no.
Yeah, I looked into the Balance a lot when I was pregnant with Emery just because I wanted to take it. And I really couldn't get a clear answer. And I asked in a lot of different pregnancy and breastfeeding Plexus like groups, and I could never really get a straight answer. There's some women that do take it and did fine and had no problems. And then there was some that said absolutely not. So I just didn't because I didn't know and I couldn't get a straight answer.
Yeah.
But I know that some do.
Perfect. Yeah, I would say those are really the only two. And to throw this in, I actually took X Factor, not X Factor Plus, but X Factor as a prenatal. And when I showed it to my OB, she was like, this is actually pretty good. Of course, I needed to add in an iron supplement because as a multivitamin, it does not have iron, and being pregnant, you need that extra iron. So I did take an iron supplement. But so I thought that was cool. But those are really the only two. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Is that the only one? All right. Let me figure out how to do this. I think it's going. Oh my gosh, I clicked on an ad, you guys. Bear with me. Kristen, I see you on the call. Is your raffle thing working?
Let me try it.
Oh, I think for some reason mine is like, it's like won't take my little keyboard thing. And it keeps taking me to a Google ad. Oh, it's working now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We're raffling. Maddie, you win again. This girl is on a winning spree.
I just keep winning.
She's in a group we're having and she won the weekly. She had the most participation points. So congrats, Maddie. And look, you brought your baby to the pregnancy testimony call.
I did. He's snoring.
That's so cute. I love that you did that. If I didn't make mine go to bed early, I would have given her a little, hey, what's up? Well, congratulations. I will get in touch with you because I already have to send you your first prize from the other group. But thank you everyone so much for getting on. And extra thank you to Cody and Jess and Annie for sharing your stories. We really appreciate it. And it really was just great. I'll let you all go. I know it's getting late and we have families to get to, but have a good night.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.